welcome to A Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton women. I'm thrilled to be joined again by Sienna. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And we have got a lot to discuss today with the season ending. And obviously, we've had some big news come out, starting with the news that there's been rumors about it for how long, but it has been officially confirmed now that Everton women will be moving to Goodison Park in the new season. Sienna, what are your thoughts on this?
We were saying this on the last podcast, weren't we? We were saying how we were predicting this and we were so excited for it. But it's just such an exciting step. I think Goodison is such an iconic ground, and giving the women's team a platform to play there week in and week out sends such a strong message. I think it shows real commitment from the club, and it gives the players a proper stage to perform on, and it's one that matches the level that we're striving for. I was thinking this yesterday, and I was looking through the history of Goodison. Obviously, we know it's the first purpose-built football stadium, and it just like clicked in my head. I was like, that is so fitting because Goodison has always been a trailblazer. It was a trailblazer for the development of top flight football, and now the stadium's continuing that legacy, but this time helping push forward for the growth of the women's game. And I just think that's so it's so right. That's the way it should be. That being said, Walton Hall Park has been brilliant. We've obviously had some great moments there, and the connection between the fans and the players has been special there. So while there is a bit of sadness saying goodbye, I just think this move feels like progress, and it's about backing the women's game, the women's team, giving them the space to grow, and Goodison is the right place for that.
Yeah, 100%. And the club have released a concept design. I like how they're being realistic about we're not going to sell it. They have released a concept design where they're only going to have the bottom stalls open, and if needs be, they can open the top stands. But we're going to have like posters and banners and everything on the top, and it's so needed. And I am so ready for this. And I just think it means so much for not just women's football, but also Everton football in general. And I just can't wait to see Megan Finnegan walking out to Z cars at Goodison Park.
I'm literally counting down the days. I cannot wait.
And obviously, since we last spoke, we've had three games. Starting with Everton Brighton. This was an unfortunate, and I, it's just so gutting because it was literally in the final minute or so. Nikita Paris got that goal, but it finished 2-3. Sarah Homegaard and Katja Snoys got the goals for us. Katja's ball was Katja's goal was absolutely beautiful. Sienna, what are your thoughts on this game?
It was hectic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, especially the first half, but like you said, a really tough one to take. When you go ahead twice and then end up with nothing, it's incredibly frustrating. Then, especially adding on losing it so late. But there definitely were positives. The first half attacking play I thought was sharp. Homeguard's finish was brilliant, and also Snoister's as well, of course. Um, you could see early on that I thought we were playing confidently, and I thought we were playing with intent, but it just didn't translate into control necessarily. Um, I felt that Brighton were always in the game, and they were able to find gaps, and sometimes that happened far too easily, I thought. The final goal from Nikita Paris was incredibly hard to take because I thought it was quite a simple ball through and then she's in. So to let that happen in the 93rd minute when you've worked so hard was a little devastating. But yeah, defensively, good moments. I thought Stenovic was incredible. She made some key interventions. Home guard, obviously, always talking about her, involved at both ends always. Um, but I just thought as a unit, we did look a bit vulnerable at times. Midfield wise, there were decent spells of possession, but again, we just didn't really control the rhythm after half time. It was all a bit frantic late on, and I think that probably suited Brighton better than us. So that was a shame, but yeah, hectic, frustrating, harsh, all those words, but it wasn't negative. I thought the attacking movement was good and there was clear chemistry between the players, but it's just one of the things you've got to be more disciplined late on in the games to protect all the hard work they've done because it was a great performance from the girls, but just the last moments you need to stay together, disciplined to make sure that we're protecting anything we can get from that game.
Yeah, 100% agree. And one thing I really liked was seeing Claire Wheeler with the captain's armband. That's something I haven't seen before because normally we're in Megan Finnegan's absence, it's Courtney Brosnan. And I don't know if Sonson's just trying something new with his captains, but I think that in the 3 games she's been captain, she's fit into it really well. And I'm, we're big Claire Wheeler fans anyways, as it goes, but I think she's just fit into that captain's role really well.
I agree. I think because she's such an integral part of the midfield, she controls the game. It's a perfect position to have your captain. She's obviously very vocal, and I think switch it up now and then doesn't hurt anyone. It just means it just shows that we've got so many leaders in our team, and that's something that I think you can only take positives from.
Yeah, definitely. And then moving on to our next game, which was the Merseyside derby that took place at Anfield. This was another chaotic game. Katja Noyce once again got on the score sheet. She loves a derby goal, and Karen Homegaard also got one. But then that was unfortunately overshadowed by Sarah Homegaard receiving a red card. What did you think of this game?
I thought it was a brilliant performance. I mean, I'm always going to say that if we win, especially at Anfield, that made it even sweeter to do it away from home. We've also done the double over Liverpool this season, 7 unbeaten in the WSL, I think. So we absolutely own this fixture right now. Can't be more proud to be an Evertonian. I think, we came flying out of the blocks. We were really aggressive from the first whistle. Snoyce obviously took her chance brilliantly. She loves Derby, as we say. And the goal just set the tone. From there, I thought that we controlled key moments and we looked dangerous every time that we went forward. But what impressed me the most probably was how we dug deep because it wasn't a quiet game. Liverpool were throwing everything at it, and also it being at Anfield, the crowd were up for it as well. So I was so impressed with the composure of the team to be able to do that. Obviously, we were saying before in the Brighton game, they let it slip. They lost discipline a little bit at the end. So for them to come back and show that they can do that was really brilliant. I thought a moment for Courtney Brosnan is needed because she was outstanding. Oh my God, definitely player of the match performance, obviously. She made some huge saves and just completely shut them out, really. And I just think that's the level of performance you need and you want from your keeper. And ultimately, she delivered that for us. The second goal was another brilliant moment. Payne off the bench made an instant impact. And I'm personally, I love Payne. I think she's going to be one to watch out for next season because I thought we could see her towards the end of the season trickling in, showing little sparks of real intensity and like promise. So I'm really excited to see what she can do next season. But Karen Holmgard, obviously at the back post, she just wanted it and she got her goal. I was so happy for her. But then, as you say, even with the red card, I think we stayed organised, we stayed focused, and we just saw it out like a team that knows what they're doing. So yeah, massive win, clean sheet, derby dominance. What more could you want?
And doing the double over Liverpool as well, as you say, is a huge moment. It was such a good game, and it just felt like one of those classic Everton games as well, where you're just watching it like this is incredible.
I know. Oh, I loved it.
And then our final game of the season was against Tottenham Hotspur at home. This was also a sad game because we were saying goodbye to some of our own. We said goodbye to Caroline Olsen, Ricky Masden, Mara Miodi, Lauren Thomas, and Martina Fernandez. We just want to thank them for everything they've done for us this season and throughout their time at Everton. And we hope that they go to good clubs and are quite nice to us if they play us again. But no, we do hope they go to good homes and that we wish them all the best in the future. But this was another frustrating draw. But one of the key moments for me is seeing Aurora Gali, come back from her ACL injury because
Mhm.
she was injured on the first game of the season. And then she came back for the last season. Like 9 months recovery has got to be some kind of record. Like that's incredible. What did you think of the game? And obviously like Yaya's return.
Yeah, so we'll start with Yaya's return as you obviously were just speaking about it then, but I would say that's the standout moment of the game for me. The whole of Walton Hall Park was behind her, and you could just see how much it meant for her. And as you say, 9 months to come back from an ACL injury is incredible. So I was so happy for her and can't wait to see how we go forward next season. That's really exciting. But for the performance, I thought it was a steady end to the season. I thought not the high we necessarily might have wanted, but it wasn't a letdown, I would say. We had bright spells and we started well, and Sarri's goal was a clever piece of thinking. Um, the early lead did give us some control and belief, and you could see us starting to push on from there. Um, Martina Fernandez hitting the bar was obviously so unlucky, and I think that if that did go in, then it's a completely different game from there. But fair play to Spurs because they did grow into it, and the equaliser that they produced was a bit of a blow because it came when I thought we were looking quite comfortable, and I do think it was avoidable. So from that point, it just became a bit more balanced. In the second half, we had our chances. Gargo could have had one, and Van Havermaet also was always involved. But it just didn't quite fall for us. Brosnan, as always, has to say switch on, and she produced a good save from, I think it was Naz. It was a low save, but the game just, it never really fizzled out in the second half. But I don't think it ever like caught fire too. So it was a bit of like a end to the season. But obviously, the special part came from Gargo, not Gargo, sorry, Gali or Gali, coming back on after a long injury. We spoke about that. So overall, not a bad way to end the season. It wasn't a win, but I think there was enough in it to take positives from the performance. You know, we always want to finish strong, but I mean, eighth place is something to build from, and I think with a bit more consistency next year, I think coming out of the block strong because we didn't have the best start to the season this year. I think seeing the investment come into play and obviously playing at Goodison, I think we could easily push on next season. That's something I'm really excited for.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited for Everton's future. And like Sienna just said, we eventually finished eighth in the table. But the most frustrating part about that is we finished literally 1 point behind Liverpool.
Isn't
Like,
it like if we won? Oh, I can't remember it. There was another world where we could have just topped them, and that would have been great. After the start of the season, everyone thought we were in contention for relegation, and then just it just would have been so sweet. But eighth place, really proud of the girls. They came away from relegation really quickly when we were in serious like need to get out, and they did so well. I'm so proud of the way that they've just like held themselves and their character because the kind of belief in the squad and the camaraderie around the squad is just it's so nice to see because I think in times where you're battling and you're fighting to stay out of relegation, sometimes you can see dips in squads and you see how they're breaking up. But clearly, that's just not the case with our girls because they stuck together and they really incredibly, I think it's not been spoken about enough, the transformation of Everton season. So I'm so proud of the girls for that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's been a tough season. Well, it's been a tough like couple of seasons recently, and throughout the entire time, all the players, our lovely Brian Sorensen has remained so positive, and I'm like, how are you doing this? Because I am not. But no, hopefully next season we've got the investment, we've got the new ground, we're gonna hopefully sign some new players, which, and I just can't wait. I'm just hopefully there's some pre-game, there's some, start again. There's some pre-season games at Goodison that fans can attend, so we can go and get that Goodison atmosphere and get that feel for it. But I'm just so excited for what the future holds for Everton women.
It's such an exciting time to be an Everton Women's supporter, I think. And as you say, if they do any pre-season games, I will be there. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get down to Goodison again. I'm so excited.
And obviously, of course, we spoke about it earlier, but this move to Goodison now means that we own the first all-purpose built women's stadium because, yes, I mean, technically the because oh my God, I can't speak today. Um, because other teams do ground share like Arsenal do share with their men, but Goodison is entirely ours, and I think that is a huge moment for us for women's sports.
Yeah, like you say, I think the move to Goodison, obviously incredible for Everton women individually, but it's also so impactful just for the women's game. I think it sends a message out to people how serious we are as a club, but also how serious we are in promoting women's game and that how other people should follow in our footsteps. I mean, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. And seeing as we had our last game of the season, I thought it'd be quite fun to just do a couple of little like award things, not awards, but like just a couple of little kind of celebration moments. So I'd just like to know what your favorite game of the season has been. Out, 'cause there's been a lot.
Well, I actually thought this one was quite easy for me because my favourite game of the season has to be the 2-1 win over Man City at Walton Hall Park just
That's
before
fine.
the January break. Yeah,
That's what
because
I
it just,
put.
yeah, it's the timing of it, I thought, because it was such a statement moment. I was like, honestly, myself, I was shocked. I was sat there like this, like, what has just happened? Because obviously we said we didn't start the season on the best foot. So I just thought it sent such a powerful message to the whole league that we weren't going to let our slow start define our season, and we were coming back. So it was just one of them games where it's like, yeah, we can do this because from then we did really gain momentum, and I think it gave the squad and fans alike belief that we could compete with the big names and come out on top. I know that when we went to like Chelsea, when like Arsenal came to us, things like that, I genuinely went into the games thinking like, yeah, we could get something out of it. Why should we not? So I just think I will always remember that game. I just always will. Because it I think it was a monumental moment, I like to call it, because it was a turning point for us, I think. But I think we can't speak about favourite game without speaking about 1-0 win over Liverpool at Goodison, because it was our first win of the season. Um, and then also looking back at it now, retrospectively, knowing that we did the double over our biggest rivals just makes that game even more special. But overall, the Man City game, it really felt like a season shifter, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I put as mine as well, beating Man City. It was also the first time it had ever been done in like Everton's history. Like they'd drawn before, but they'd never actually beaten them, and so that was a bit like, what? What? And also throughout the season, we took 4 points off them, like one, and then when we went to the it's not called the Academy Stadium anymore, but the Joy Stadium, we drew with them, so we technically got 4 points off City this season, and that's just huge. But never beating them in the history ever, and then doing that, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also comes on to like one of my best moments just of the entire season, which is taking points off big teams like Man City. When we went to the Emirates, we drew with Arsenal. It was late. It was quite a late goal when we went to Kings Meadow to play Chelsea, and just taking points of some of those big teams when people never thought we could do it. That type of thing. Like it just feels like, yeah, we're Everton, but we can do this. And I just want to know and also as well doing the double over Liverpool, like that's always going to be up there in a season highlight. But I just want to know what your favorite moment of the entire season is.
Well, that was a really good one from you, actually. I didn't think about that, but I'm gonna add that to my list as well. Um, but I have quite a few on and off the pitch. So my first one off the pitch, which I think is quite obvious, is obviously Everton Women moving to Goodison Park.
Yeah.
Just the build up to that announcement, I really enjoyed because I was thinking it before it even was like rumors were coming out. Then rumors started to fly, and then it came out before the last game at Goodison, which just added, obviously the last game at Goodison so emotional, but it added like a bit of sweet sense to it rather than just a completely sad dark day. So that's got to be up there. I think on the pitch, the January transfer market window for me stood out because it's just a turning point. I think also I like to say it was a moment of realization because I was like, whoa, are we actually attracting these big names? Like Martina Fernandez wants to come to us. Come on, like Moran Majeld, yeah. Like I was like, whoa. So that was I don't know. I don't know the word for it, but it just made me feel like, oh, we actually are a serious contender and like we're making our team attractive. And I was so excited with that. I think it brought fresh excitement and momentum. Um, I think in terms of like a game moment, the home guard twins, Sarah Siston and Karen scoring, that was just that was a fun
Yeah.
moment. I really enjoyed that one. And then the when Ricky Madsen got proposed to on the pitch was, oh, it's so sweet. And I think also we spoke about the camaraderie of the team, that, but it did just show how like close everyone is because everyone was so happy for her, and you could see the strong bond and support within the team, which I just thought was lovely.
Yeah. That proposal on the pitch was so cute. I was watching it like, oh my God. It was amazing. This next one, we were just talking before, and we really struggled with it because there have been so many good players on that pitch. But standout player, who's your standout player of the season out of everyone we discussed? Because we struggled with this question.
Right, so I've got three contenders. So my first one was Kelly Gargo because I thought after we signed her in January, she's brought a real spark and momentum to the side. I thought she injected energy and attack into our squad, and I just think without her, some of those results wouldn't have gone the way they necessarily did. So she has to be part of the conversation. Martina Fernandez, for me, I thought she stood out defensively. Um, there's so many times she's put her body on the line and she's been able to clear the danger as the last line of defence. So I thought she has to be there. I think if anything, she's definitely our young player of the season. And I think she's Everton's young player of the
Yeah.
season. Yeah, she's mine as well. So, um, but for me, the standout player of the season has to be Sarah Homegaard because her consistency has been phenomenal throughout the campaign. She's been crucial in both defence and attack, and the way that she can deliver pinpoint crosses into perfect spaces, carrying the ball forward seamlessly, I just think is incredible. And without her, like I said, with Kelly Gargo, genuinely those results wouldn't have been the same. So she just connects the whole team. Her consistency, raises the level of play, and I think she truly deserves the recognition. So she's my standout player of the season.
Oh, like you, I've also got a couple that I noted down. I've got Tony Payne because I just feel like she's been incredible, and some of those assists that she's made have been just perfect. Claire Wheeler, I feel like especially in that midfield against some really strong opponents, she's just been so incredible. And she's signed a 2-year contract, so we get her for longer, which we're absolutely buzzing with. But my standout player has to go to Courtney Brosnan. Like, I feel like she has kept us in the game so many times. Some of the saves that she has produced, like that fingertip one against Brighton a couple of weeks ago, where it was literally just, I just, she's just so incredible, and her presence on and off the pitch just is insane. Like, she's the player you can always hear, no matter what. She'll be stood in the post in Goodison. You'll be right at the top, and you'll still be able to hear her shouting. That's she's just can't even joke about it because we all know it's true. She's just like some of the saves she's produced have just been absolutely incredible, and I feel like she has been so key for Everton's season and keeping them in the game. And I just think she's amazing, and I'm very, very excited to see her next season and see what she can do. And she's by far my standout player.
Love that. We had three different players, but I
I'm
agree wholeheartedly with all of yours.
and I agree with you.
They've always been amazing.
That's what I mean. Like, it was so hard to pick because I was looking at like all doing all like the fact checks and stats and stuff, and I was like, oh no, but she's been good. Oh, but she's also been good. Because I was going to mention like Katja's Noise as well, because she like particularly this back end of the season, she's also been like
Mm-hmm.
so good. Like, it's just been so hard trying to pick a standout player. But
We give our standout player to everyone.
yeah, can we just give it? Everyone has been a standout player. And then finally, I just wanted to get your gauge on next season. Like, what are the hopes, dreams? What are we planning to achieve?
I think I don't like to put pressure on the girls, so I think just the biggest thing is carrying forward the positive momentum because, as I say, like it just feels so lovely to be an Everton women's supporter right now. Just I just love it. It just makes me smile talking about it. Um, it's just the sense of belief that's building around the squad. I think that's the main thing because if if they're like if they've got good positivity, good positive momentum off the pitch, that's the main thing that can translate onto the pitch. I think that's very, very important. Um, yeah, I don't know. That, like, I hate putting pressure on people.
Oh, I
I
know.
mean, uh, um, let's better our place this season. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Better than eighth, and I'd be happy. I'd be happy with anything, but better than eighth.
See, I've gone top six. I just really like top six. Um, we can sign some good players, and I know there's some contract talks and going on. Sorry, home guard, talking to you. Um, Signed a contract, go, please. Um, and I just love for us to. I think my main goal that I want is for us to really thrive at Goodison and like just have that really good attitude and positivity and just really get the game going and just like really thrive and just enjoy it, like not feel the pressure because oh it's Goodison, we need to play well. Just enjoy that atmosphere, and because it's such a historic ground, like we keep saying, like this has just been the takeaway from this entire episode, just how much we love Goodison Park. And
Yeah.
I just really like the girls to enjoy it and just thrive. And I, again, I can't wait to be in the stands back at Goodison watching our girls play.
So excited. I honestly, I can't wait. I
It's
can't wait.
so exciting. And I think that's all we've got. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any comments below about what you think.